Hi everyone, Mike Mixon from Keyboard America, and here's our last Sinatra song celebrating 100 years of Frank, and the tune is All the Way. Now you're going to have a great time with this song. In one of the intros you got some wind chimes going. It's just a lot of fun, and you're going to want to pay attention to when I switch variations through it just for fun. And of course I've altered a few chords. We'll get a close-up look at the music for chord changes, and of course we'll have close-ups of chords at the end of the video for you to practice your chords. So let's get started with this great song by Frank Sinatra, All the Way, and we'll have one of his great big bands behind him. Okay, so we're going into our jazz and swing section. We're going to be on page 2 right here, page 2, and letter D, Dreamy Ballad. And of course there's two ways to set up your Tyros when you first turn it on. If you hit the sync start, and then you can choose your intro later when you decide which one you want to use, or you can of course hit your one-touch setting. When you touch your one-touch setting, of course, all that does is put on your accompaniment and your sync start. And of course it has four great right-hand sounds in your right hand, so it's a dual-purpose button. But I just turn my Tyros on, hit sync start, make sure my accompaniment on, then the only thing I have to choose is my intro, and in this case I'm using intro 3, because of those beautiful wind chimes. Okay, so here's the music, and just for fun I decided to try and trip you up. All your F's become F major 7ths, with the exception of this one F7th here that I've put in. And the rest of the chords are going to stay the same, except for I eliminated the E minor that was there in your book. Now, if you have the older Sinatra book and not all the Sinatra songs I've covered and you purchased it from us, we can discount the new Sinatra book because they discontinued the old book and pretty much tripled it in the size of music in there, which is a great improvement, but that was the publisher who did that. So, of course, we'll get a close-up of the chords later, but let's get a listen to All the Way, and we're going to pay attention to when I change the variations. Okay, so the first thing you should do, if you remember, I told you I was going to trip you up. The Dreamy Ballad is on 63 beats a minute. Raise the tempo to 66. Makes a big difference, just those 3 points there. We're going to hit our sync start, of course, our intro 3. Listen for those beautiful wind chimes coming. And let's get started. Of course, I'm going to be on variation A, and here we go. tip there. Keep in mind we're going to have a close-up of my chords at the end of the video. So let's move on to the next step in the song. Okay, for those of you who do watch my videos all the way through in their entirety, you'll find that to be a good habit to get into, because I usually get off into tricks and tips all the way up to the end of the video. And for those of you that stop early, you're probably missing some pretty important things. This is going to be one of them, of course. We're going to be making all new YouTube videos, replacing the ones we have now, so that they're iPad friendly, and it's going to have that new information button up in the upper right hand corner. So my 8 favorite sounds I have set here, and of course every time you change the style you got 4 great right hand sounds that Yamaha suggested to go with each rhythm style. So basically in my 7 and 8 I have my harmony echo button on. And this is really important for a lot of you out there. I play my own chords a lot of the time, so I rarely use the harmony echo, but you can actually store as many as you want in here with harmony echo. So if you use the 1-finger chords in the right hand all the time, store them all that way, or 7 out of the 8. And I keep my first 6 single finger notes, store my favorite sounds in there, and my 7 and 8 are my really great big band things that I like to use, like Glenn Miller and things like that. So when I'm in 7, my harmony's on, and I got a beautiful 8. And you heard me use those, so pretty cool stuff. The other little trick and tip is before I play each song on my number 1, I could change that sound just for that song. And for instance, if I wanted a clarinet here, I'd push woodwind, and let's see, go here, let's get to a clarinet, let's go to romantic clarinet, memory, store, boom. Now, so I still have my other great right hand sounds in here. When I want to go back to piano, where I usually keep it, I hit piano, memory, 1, and it's that quick. So for different songs, I change my number 1 setting all the time. Okay, so the first chord, F major 7, and remember I use 7ths all the time because it's actually easier if you learn them this way. Now leave the little finger down. There's a 2-finger move. So we go from our G7 to our C7 to our G minor 7 to our C minor. And you notice I leave this little finger down the whole time, to the C7. F major 7, leave those 2 fingers down. So you can see the chords that way. If you leave the right fingers down, you'll keep your hand in place. And remember, you want it in place, not stiff. Now, if you also noticed, without the sync start on, you can hear everything, but the style's not going, and you can practice your chords in the beginning. So let's put that style on without the intro. That's an important step there. There's your F major 7, to your C minor. Notice the fingers held down. So slide your wrist right up. Here's our F7. These two fingers stay and just drop them. So we go from here to C minor, very small move, two fingers, to our B flat. The F finger stayed down. Look at that. The B flat stays down, going from the B flat to the C7. There's that B flat held down again. G minor, 7 to C7. So whenever you see a G minor too, make it a 7th. It doesn't really make a lot of difference, but it really helps your fingers in place. And of course, I'm overemphasizing for you. So you can really hear the difference in the chords when you have less going in the backgrounds. So what I'm going to do is start this style again and do a quickie. Here comes that hard E flat 7. So let's go over that. Here's your F major 7. This is at the end of the song. Here we go, right here, to your D7, to your G minor, which I always make a 7, to your A minor, to your D, G minor 7. So yeah, you've got to move your hands around, but if you keep your fingers in place and not stiff, you're going to have less problems. If you're looking at my chord chart where it tells you which chords to learn first, if you're going from one chord to another and there's going to be same notes in both chords, they're the ones you want to hold down, and that's the secret. So your C7th, right there, G minor 7 is a 2-finger move. And we'll do the end of the song. And that's it. Okay, so remember, in the upper right hand corner of this video is the quick way to get a hold of me, or go on to our Song of the Week in Buttons class page. All your links are right there now and not interfering with the video on the screen, which is great. This song was a little more difficult from all the Sinatra songs that we did in moving your chords around, but it's great practice, and you don't have to get it perfect until next year when he turns 101. So there you go. And of course, we're going to be moving on to Jersey Boys and Frankie Valli. Great song. I'm going to be able to divulge the rhythm style that I've been keeping from you guys. And by the way, no one won the contest and won the free expansion board, so we are going to have another contest, change things up a little bit to try and get some more people guessing the next rhythm. Maybe I'll give you a hint or something like that. But anyhow, Mike Mixon from Keyboard America. Keep playing, have a great time, and see you in the next video.